Alright then, hello guys. Today we're doing another PicoCTF challenge, and the challenge we're going to be doing today is going to be called sudo make me a sandwich. So we're going to open up my terminal right away and get this started, and I'm going to switch to my WSL, Kali Linux WSL. So it says right here, can you read the flag? I think you can. It gives me something to SSH with along with the password, and we have two hints. What is sudo, and how do you know what permissions you have? So very first thing, I'm assuming that we have to run sudo on this instance. So first thing I'm gonna do is copy the command to SSH inside this computer. Once we SSH, we'll be prompted with a password, and from there on we could just put in the password that they provided us. I'm assuming everyone's password is different for each instance. And now we're in. First thing I want to do is type ls to see what we have, and we see the flag. So first instincts that come into mind is just typing cat flag.txt. It says permissions denied. So what do we do next? So from here, I guess we could look at the permissions it has. So if we see right here, only root could read it at the moment, or I guess only root has access to this. How do I know that? Root, and I think read. I think this is only for read for root. So there's a way to, I guess, understand this. I think it's execute read write, or something like that. And it's for 3 different types of users or groups. I don't know. Someone could correct me in the comments. So it says right here we have to use sudo. It says, what is sudo and how do you know what permissions you have? So I guess to answer this, what is sudo? It's basically a way for you to be able to run administrator commands, like it says right here. And it says how do you know what permissions you have using sudo? So a good way to check on what type of permissions you have on sudo is just typing sudo -l, and it tells us all the sudo commands that we could use. It says matching default entries for CTF player on challenge. So these are all the sudo commands, but it says users may run the following command on challenge. It says we could run this command without having to put in a password freely on sudo permission. So that means we could run sudo emacs, and then from there we could open the file. So what is emacs? You could think of it like an editor of some sort. So it's a text editor that you could use. So we could probably open up the text editor with admin privileges and look inside the file with those admin privileges. So what we're gonna do next is just type sudo emacs and then the name of the file, which is flag.txt. And from here we just get the flag, just sudo it. So I'll just copy this and then just paste it right here, and that should solve us the challenge. And it did. So yeah, hope you guys learned something new today. This is kind of like a privilege escalation challenge, which is pretty cool. But yeah, hope you guys learned something new today. I know I did, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.